What is the most potent key driver of your experience? Why is it the most potent? It's because it's invisible in your daily life, but yet it's driving your life. And it's hard to control because, like a fish in the water, you are always bathing in it. And that driver is one thing: social conformity. And so today, I'm going to share with you 3 powerful aspects of this driver that will allow you to take charge of this driver. I am Coach Soul. Welcome to our Performance Edge Weekly Wisdom. So today, we are going to talk about one of the most important key driver of your experience, which is social conformity. We'll see first why it's the most potent driver of your experience. Second, we'll address how it's everywhere and how, by raising your awareness, you'll be able to see social conformity at work in your life. And third, I'll give you a trick that will help you to take charge of social conformity as a key driver. You ready? Let's jump in. Before we dig deeper, I want to make sure that you saw the first video of a key driver, on the first key driver, which was self-projection. If you didn't see it yet, I highly recommend you go see it and go check it out. Now let's come back to our original topic. Why social conformity is one of the most potent, powerful key drivers of your experience. It's one word: invisible. Yes, social conformity is an invisible driver, meaning it's everywhere and it permeates almost all aspects of your life. And that's what makes it harder to discern. Because like a fish in the water, that's what we know. And unless we can elevate our vantage points, we can spend our lives without being aware of this driver. That's what makes it the most potent. So let's understand what it is first. So the main reason why it's hard to be aware of the social conformity, it's because human beings are social creatures. So in order to survive and even thrive, we need social groups and social gatherings. Back in the day, as cavemen and cavewomen, if we didn't unite as a species, the dinosaurs or other bigger species would have made of us just a food or made us disappear. So with those basics, when you are gathering in groups, the natural thing is, the next thing is group norms, or specifically social norms that get formed so that the group can remain alive. So social norms are at the basis of social conformity. But now, I want you to pay attention. Here is the biggest discernment I need you to pay attention to. If social norms are at the basis of social conformity, it's not necessarily the same thing. But that's the biggest problem we have to understand in this key driver. Because social norm is not necessarily equal to social conformity. Social norm exists for the necessary survival of a group, for which the norms were created for, meaning it's beneficial for all concerns. As a whole and as a unity, it's flourishing for all that are part of it, they benefit from it. Example, in a boat, there is a captain and his crew, right, sailing from one port to another port, right? And so the captain and his crew, they have each of them have a role and function. So they serve a bigger purpose of getting from one port to a next destination, and they need to survive. And so there are norms that are created within that group, within being the ship. The captain leads and has a compass and all that. So it is the same thing whenever a group are gathered, right? So now that's where social norms are created. Now, social conformity has inherently social norms element in it. But here is the key: it's not necessarily beneficial to all concerned. Why? Because social conformity doesn't necessarily benefit all concerned. Example, when you got gangs, adherence or peer pressure that push people to do things that might not benefit them or in the long run, right? Or for example, in some social circles where you need to take drugs or you need to drink or you need to smoke when you are in some social gathering. But what if you don't want to do those things and you decide to do it? This is an obvious example because you want to join the group. So I'm sharing here an obvious example because it's easy to see that one. Let's go further. Have you heard of keeping the Joneses, right? What is that? Keeping the Joneses, what is that if not a self-imposed social conformity? What is keeping the Joneses if not an invisible peer pressure? If you still doubt, I'm inviting you to pause for a second and reflect. Isn't what the marketer use in many instances? They leverage a human need for significance and a human need to belong. They need to get that last phone. They need to get that last watch. They need to get that last car. Not even necessarily because of their new functionality, but because of the status those new things provides in a group you belong to. So here is a performance edge wisdom for you right now. It is a key. You ready? You need to discern and you need to disconnect the difference between social norms versus social conformity. How you do that? The way you do it is through a powerful question and awareness. It's this question: what am I supposed to adhere to? Does it benefit my higher self and of a group? It has to be an and, meaning it has to be beneficial to all concerned. Because if it's not, it means you are social conforming. And if you want to be at ease, just remember that social norms is what is at the basis of a group well-being. And it's not social conformity. In other words, that's where your freedom to choose and your freedom to excel exists. It's between the window of social norm and social conformity. It's within that gap that you are given the gift to express your talent, to express your interest and what matters to you. Now, why is it that important? Let me bring it down to reality example. In many communities, people are told, go to school, get good grades, get a good job, be a good employee, get married, and have a lot of children. Right? It's a simple example, but this is a relevant example because what I just described is within a cultural paradigm, in which there are a lot of assumptions built in that are in this blueprint I just shared. Going to school and, all the way getting kids. So the challenge and tension arise when you deviate from this script or this blueprint. For example, if you don't marry at a certain age, there is this invisible social conformity or pressure that you are tempted to adhere to, right? So for example, if you brought up to say that you got to marry between 30, you choose a partner before you have been told to marry before 30. Your choice might not have been the best choice for you at that moment. But on the other hand, if you did ask yourself that performance edge question, you remember, is this in alignment to my and in the benefit of my higher self, of my partner who I'm going to marry with? So that highest question, that performance edge question will govern your decision. It's a simple example, but I hope you can extrapolate to everything else because this can be a subject of a book. And I want to wrap up here and summarize why social conformity is one of the most powerful key drivers of your life and your experience. Right. So what we reviewed the different aspects of social conformity. Why? Because it's invisible and it's hard to put your finger on it. So the difficulty stems from the fact that people not making a difference between social norm and social conformity. And that is very important because, we saw that making that difference, here lies your power to express your talent by asking the performance as question. You take back control of your decision, take back of that driving seat. And I can talk about this more, but, because social conformity is everywhere. But I want to be considerate of your time now. And if you want to know more and you want to continue this conversation with me, please sign up to our brand new community, Performance Edge Wisdom Community. And, you can just get in there and the link is below. And you get access to more tips and relevant answers to real problems. And if you have any specific issue you want me to talk about, you can submit them in the comments or request a specific video for topic request, right? www.thequantumdo.com/video. Or if you want to be confidential and you need an NDA, right? Please send an email to support@thequantumdo.com and the team will get back to you. So do not forget, failure is a necessary prerequisite to human excellence. Till next time, live your truth.